Would I not support this legislation? When you have folks like Blanca, Sarah Brandt over here, people who have contributed a great part of their lives to San Francisco, who are being evicted through Ellis Act, we have to stand up. I have been so inspired, impressed by the grassroots movement that has come out, where this legislation's come out of. The direct actions we've had, the marches, the conventions, all the minor conventions that led to the major convention at the Tenderloin Elementary School. That's really showing that San Francisco is coming together, that we are standing up. And this legislation around relocation benefits, it gets to the root. What's happening, what's troubling this city is that greed and speculation is what is driving us out of our homes, and we are fighting back by making the greedy landlords and speculators stop in their tracks. We're actually doing it because they're going to have to pay tenants what they should get, what they expect to get in profits. That is our money. This is our housing. We should be staying in our homes, and this legislation enables us to do that through a disincentive. So I want to say thank you for all the work, all the organizing that's been going on, the Housing Rights Committee, the Tenants Union, Chinatown Community Development Center, AIDS Housing Alliance. I'm going to forget some groups, Causa Justa, all of your great work. We wouldn't be where we're at right now. We'd be at such a loss to how to respond as legislators without the pressure that you put on us. So thank you so much, and let's keep it up. And we have much more to do to protect our tenants here in this city. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Avalos. And we have so much more to go, but we're going to continue fighting, right? I want to introduce now Patricia Kerman, another long-term Mission resident who is also facing an Ellis Act, and she's going to tell us a little bit about how this eviction is particularly impacting seniors and how much of a stress this is for seniors.
Thank you all for coming out. It's very important that we show our support for the legislation, and especially for the people going through this horrendous eviction crisis that we have. My name is Patricia Kerman. I've been living in San Francisco since 1970. When I first moved here, when I first stepped foot in here, I felt at home. So I've been calling this place home for many, many years. I've been living in the flat I'm in now for 27 years in the Mission. When I first moved in, it was considered a dicey area. My friends thought, well, aren't you afraid of all the gangs and the hookers and the drug addicts and things? And to me, it didn't seem so bad. I grew up in Detroit, and so I lived through all of that. No light on the front porch. Every time we'd ask the landlord to fix it, he'd put in a bulb, and within a week it was out again. So we went through all that. We kept on making our rent payments, so he kept on making his payments. And as soon as the neighborhood started getting higher priced, people were getting more money for their property, he wanted us all out. He gave us a threat of an Ellis Act eviction. And at that point, there are 3 other units. We didn't get our notice until they were actually taken care of. And then he came after me and my roommates. And he offered us a buyout, saying, oh, it'll be a win-win situation for both of us. And he didn't understand when I told him, like Blanca, that no amount of money is going to be satisfying to me, because what was important was a roof over my head and not money in my pocket. And that seems to be what's been happening in the city. Money is the most important thing, and people are losing the heart that makes San Francisco so wonderful. And you can live without your wallet, but you can't live without your heart. This city means so much to me. People think, oh, it's so beautiful. You've got the parks and the bridges and the Victorians, and you can find those all over the world. Maybe some even more beautiful, I don't know. But you can't find the people that you find here. This cross-section of people is unique. It's a special spot on this planet. And unless we stick together and we fight this, it will be erased. This is the soul of the city. it's the culture. It's what makes this special. And I just appreciate you all being out here. I've made a pact with my roommate. We will be dragged out by the sheriff. We won't go willingly. And we're going to fight this, and I'm going to fight for everyone else too.
Thank you so much, Patricia. It's courage, like the kind Patricia has, like the kind Blanca has.
That are here, they remind me of the history of the International Hotel and the Manongs and the Chinatown community that stood up and said, "We won't move." I'm Eric Marr from the Richmond District. It's not just the Mission or the Tenderloin or other neighborhoods that face a massive amount of evictions going on. It's the Richmond District as well. From the budget analyst report that Supervisor Campos commissioned with the tenant organizations, the Richmond's inner and outer areas were one of the highest among the city. I'm very proud to stand here with Supervisor Avalos and Campos to support the tenant movement and the emergence from the tenant conventions of a number of different pieces of legislation. I think the Avalos legislation that makes it harder to merge existing units, to David Chu's ordinance that gives displaced tenants by Ellis Act evictions preference on public housing, waiting lists, and Supervisor Kim's effort to financially support nonprofits and artists organizations are really, really important. So we have to support those as well. I'm working on a registry looking at shining a spotlight on those greedy speculators. It's a speculator registry, so that's one. There's another one that many of us are working on as well. It's a speculator tax that comes out of the tenant movement in the 70s and Harvey Milk's legacy, and we hope that we will have that one move forward right away as well. Taxing the profits of the speculators is critical to stopping the displacement and the loss of the heart and the soul of our city. I wanted to say we're very lucky to have a united tenant movement with community-based groups that really help bring policy and laws and legislation here to City Hall. So the Land Use Committee is one step, but we have to keep moving as we look forward to November and June elections as well. I wanted to say, build power and organize and unite the communities. We'll fight these evictions and displacement, and we'll keep strengthening our tenant movement. Thank you so much for being here. Support the Campos legislation.